everybody. Welcome to JakeLive Quadcast. We bring together the elements of light, sound, thought, and communion with all that which is greater. I'm JustJake. This is Al, and this is Betty. Put it all together with Jake, Al, and Betty, the Cosmic Busker. I am a storyteller, and I'm telling my story, and I'm telling our story, and I'm going to implore you to listen, because I have something to share that will make your lives better. I'm telling it to you straight. If you're going to anyone else, you're wasting your time. I'm giving it to you straight, and I'm giving it to you free, and the sooner you catch on and get into the flow of this story, the sooner your pain and suffering is going to begin to diminish. That's how it works. And I'm indifferent to an extent, because you will all join me here eventually. That is also how it works. And I'm a fun guy, I'm telling you. Help me get into that part of the experience by coming along with me. You have nothing to fear except yourselves. Not fear even. The only thing you have to fear is looking inside and getting real with yourselves. And stop blaming everybody else out there for hurting you. Nobody is hurting you. You are doing it all to yourselves. That's my direct experience. That's how I see and make sense of everything around me. Everything. That which I can see and that which I cannot see. The 96% of that dark matter. I see it because I go into the darkness. That's where you find the light. Truth from this perspective, totally unique and as valid as any of yours. I know your truth. I've lived your truth for 60 years. I see it and I do not discount it, but I simply saying it is not the whole objective truth. Each one of you has a unique perspective, just as important as mine. Just as important, no greater, no less than. But you need to release your attachment to that, and you're thinking that yours is the one and only true perspective, just because you have 1,000 other people holding the same fucking signs does not make it true. I'm going to start this morning by reading a poem, a mystical poem written by a woman who misunderstood my own mystical poetry sent to her in my passion, in my yearning, and my longing, and my pleading for her to finally see me and to see that she is projecting her own early childhood experiences onto me, just as she tells her clients they are doing. She is experiencing her thinking, just as she tells her clients they are experiencing. This is the fundamental understanding that Sharon Strimling claims having a 25-year grounding in. Her understanding that her experience originates from within her as a result of her thinking of an experience she had a long time ago. For example, the brother, also named John, standing beside her, also shares a birth date of March 15th along with me, who had a psychotic break as determined by professionals in psychology, not her. Professionals licensed by the state of Massachusetts determined her brother had what one would call a psychotic break, whatever that means. And he expressed himself overtly violently, making threats of matricide, threatened to kill his mother, a pattern that was revealed in the next generation, as Sharon's brother, the son of her sister, the only child of her sister, struggled as an adolescent just as his uncle did, and made the same threat to kill his mother. I've never made an overt threat of violence. You had to read into my poetry and determined that I was psychotic and therefore likely to commit an act of violence. Even if I follow your science, it does not hold to be true. Does not hold to be true. One who is behaving in a way that you do not understand, even if you were to call it crazy, does not forebode violence unless that individual has, in fact, been physically violent or even threatened physical violence overtly in the past. I've made mention that in my first marriage, in moments of extreme passion and tension with the mother of my children, the mother of the children that I've, if not biologically fathered, raised as though I was their father. I provided fathering to them. In a moment of passion, because I was so upset and did not know what to make of this distortion she was throwing in my face, I punched a wall. Broke my hand. A horsehair plaster wall. At least I could feel something. I did not hit her. I did not threaten her. No, that was a safe expression of anger. Now she got upset because her father had done things like that and then followed up with smacking her. I did not do that. That was a safe expression of anger. I hit that wall. Instead of causing harm to another being, I only caused harm to myself. You should have some compassion for that. Self-harm is a really tough thing. When you loathe yourself, when you so need to feel something that you'll break your own bones so you can distract yourself from the agony that you're feeling. Don't blame me for other people's wrongdoings. It's not fair. It's not nice. It's not human. It's not kind. It's not compassionate. So she became afraid at my poetry. And I'm going to read you a poem that she published in Stories from the Muses, Become a Better Writer. Sharon anguished about publishing this wonderful, fiery poem. She was angry at somebody who had done her wrong, a man who had been unfaithful to her and had been throwing his distortions at her and making her sound like she was crazy in her spiritual community, the three principles. And he was having a fling with someone else, and he was torn and twisted, didn't know if he wanted to be with her or with Sharon or what. And she was tormented by this. She kept me, we were up till 4 in the morning one night, 5 in the morning, as she told me this tale that went on for hours. It was heartbreaking. They deserved to feel her fire, both Rudy and, was her name Jules too, perhaps? But this poem revealed some deep vulnerability and a darkness within her and a fire within her that scared herself even. I said, let it rip, baby, let it rip. Let them know how you feel. Let them see you. She was afraid of what her family would think because there were some of these things were sexually overt. She wasn't comfortable with her yearnings and desires in that area. No, she couldn't be straight with me. These were her things she was dealing with. So this is what she writes. She represented no danger of violence against these people about whom she was expressing her pain and agony. Her need to find closure when everyone is telling her she's crazy, everyone in her community, and they're avoiding her, casting her out, and she desperately wants to feel like she belongs. She was the girl in high school that was the weird one, carrying her guitar around. I was the same thing, but I didn't have the guitar. I was a football player, but I was just as weird. Didn't really fit in on the football team. They didn't get me, didn't see me. I was a football player that really took his track seriously, right? Running track, and wanted to hang out with the kids in the drama club. Thought that was cool. Enjoyed having missed the band's performance because he's in the locker room at halftime licking his flippin' wounds playing behind that Hall of Fame offensive line. My God, give me a break. Running for his life, as my coach John Seed once termed it at halftime, as he berated those same linemen. As I was a sophomore playing JV, or perhaps a junior playing JV, and that coach's words were, you have a quarterback with a better arm than the varsity quarterback, and you can't give him time to throw. He's running for his life back there. Yeah. So I missed the band's performance at halftime. My friends are in that band. My dear friend Frank Farrell was the what do they call it, Frank? You get to do the baton. It was fucking cool though. Frank knew he had it going on. I saw what you were doing there, Frank. That was awesome. I liked it better when you're waving the baton and not the flag. No kings. This band was amazing. Don Vasconcelos was their leader. The hell with that Dartmouth High School band. Don, you had it going on. They did these amazing performances, and they played in competitions, band competitions. I love to go see those. The quarterback of the football team going to watch the band competitions and the cheer competitions. Not only did I went to see them practice on Sunday. Stood in the stands and watched them doing their thing. I loved the music. That made me weird. I was weird too, Sharon. I didn't fit in anywhere I went. But you made assumptions that I was a football player, and that meant something that you didn't understand. You never saw me. The poem is called I Am the Fire by Sharon Strimling. Fire licks at my skin, my upper lip, the sides of my temples, the space between my eyes. I scan the room for black holes to turn time and swallow screams. There are none. Just living flames born of lies in the hot pools of my sex. Beneath the force of my love, under the devotion of my heart. You lied. You lied as you stoked my fire, and lied as it warmed your skin. And when by the chill of your lies you shivered, drew cold, you lied more and stoked more, your bellows kiss pulling embers. With the sea at your back and your lover behind you, hoping, stroking, waiting, she braced your raft. And now, cool and safe, you've found the open sea, where the storms of lies don't crash. Tell the truth, I said, but you didn't. So I turned to her, your precious and pretend Athena, your goddess of the not true, the veiled, the sacred, perverted. I screamed to her of the broken sisterhood, the fated sacrifice of Avalon, the mist that blew and left it naked. Tell the truth, I said, but she didn't. She who pawned truth for your skin, then powdered her nose with my ashes. I swallowed your lies like an earthquake swallows a sweltered city. They burned my core molten, rumbled my dreams, boiled my joints, blistered my nails, bulged my eyes. And I kept still, the world's sleep, lulled by fake gods and false goddesses. Now the rumbles are louder, the wind's stolen the flames, and I burn. I am the fire. I am the fire that began before the blaming of Eve, that folded itself around all the rapes of all the wars, that dragged the third wife and fourth wife and fifth wife to the guillotine. I am the fire that burned tiny souls, souls first, with felled trees from aching forests. I am the fire that bound girls to chains and whips, to gag jaws and tongues rolled out, glued to shut doors of libraries and law. I am the fire that began before the fear of itself and reminders of its empty nothing, quivered bodies on the ash wings of death. I am the fire that began before the blaming of Eve, when sister turned on sister and the silence of man lay still. That is Sharon Strimling expressing herself passionately. Imagine if she sent that in a text to one of them. She's just expressing herself. Was she threatening to bring them to the guillotine? Was she threatening to burn their houses down? Or was this poetic expression as we have the right to express? And if I can express this to all the world, can I not express something similar to my intimate partner, who I am begging to please see me as she promised to do? I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to read you. I'm going to read you what I sent her that caused her to believe I was a threat to not quite murder her, but to kidnap her, to overpower her family on the small island of Martha's Vineyard, as I was there with my service dog, and somehow get her into my car, kicking and screaming, and get her off that island. I sent her some poetic texts, passionate. I was on fire. And I had no intention whatsoever of hurting her. You don't get to hide me. You don't get to hide anymore. This is I wrote these at 2:14 a.m. I was up and I was in a deep spiritual state, and it was flowing through me just as it flowed through Sharon as she wrote, I am the fire. You don't get to hide anymore. You owe me an amends, big time. You were cruel. I've already forgiven you. It wasn't your fault, but you owe me something. I never did a single thing but love you. I never once hurt you, not once. Run away to Africa and you're going to be stuck there for quite a while. Stuck and stubborn, self-centered and narcissistic. You used me and then blamed me for your own shitty guilt and shame. What a horrible, inhumane thing to do, honestly. Fucking brutal. And don't dare deny what I have experienced these years with you. And still, you have to do this. Your only way home, capital H, a spiritual reference, your only way home passes through my front door. She needs to face me. I do own you after all. I see you, I get your pattern. I own you like Allen Iverson owns his defender. The longer you take, the harder it will be. It's simply the way it works. You're gonna have to face your shit. It only takes one step. I know you can do it, love. Sharon, I have suffered enough, believe me, as have you. But every single moment that you insist on doing this by yourself makes my journey even harder. And it has been hard enough already. Doing this by yourself is not noble, Sharon. It is adding to the cruelty. Time to come home, love. Let me hold you. It's going to be okay. I've never stopped loving you and I won't. Life's been hard, very hard for both of us in very different ways. We are meant to show the world a divine example of forgiveness and understanding. Does that not sound like a beautiful thing? And I'm being charged with harassment for this. You will ultimately be revered. Nobody will dare think ill of you, least of all me, because I know that this world, what this world does to people. I know the true story. I am that story, Sharon, the entire story. I'm not who you think I am, Sharon, not at all. I'm not a danger to you. You and I are meant to heal together. Together. It's how it works. It's why we came together. We reflect each other's childhoods perfectly. So that this planet for which you care so deeply may heal. You told me if I cared deeply about this planet, we would get along just fine. It is our reconciliation that the world is waiting for, love. It starts with you, with me, with each and every one of us in our most intimate relationship. That is how the world heals and coheres and comes together. Peace is waiting, and it has waited long enough. Come home. This is a spiritual calling. Capital H, home. Or I will come pick you up. I need to visit family on Martha's Vineyard anyway. I'm heading out there. Spirit calls me towards my ancestors, indigenous and pilgrim. Sharon, my grandfather was a Poneganyet, same family, Algonquin as the Wampanoag. That ran all the way north to Quebec, where he and his brother were orphaned by his mother in Canada's indigenous purge. My people. I also descend from the Mayflower, descending from royal bloodlines. Not joking. I'm not who you think I am, not by a long shot. And I'm special as fuck. Each one of us is special, and I dare say it. I am special. And so are each and every one of you. This is the text, this is the poetry that I sent to my intimate partner of 5 years, who told a police officer I'd been stalking her for anywhere from 18 to 24 months and gave him the impression she had not even seen me in 18 months while she had been in my home at her pleasure as she made her way back to Martha's Vineyard just 6 weeks before, after we'd been traveling together extensively over the previous 8 or 9 months. Sharon, not only do I own you, I own your home. I am Kennebec. This is a reference to time that we spent on the Kennebec River to celebrate her birthday in Bath, Maine. I am Kennebec. It is an indigenous term. Those are my people. I'm not saying I'm stealing the island, but we need to find a way to honor those who were there when we got here. And most especially number 56, that is the number of her home. There's symbology here. That number means a lot to me. 5 and 6, it's 11, it's the devil. This is mythical. Judge, you have no right. District attorney, you have no right trying to parse poetry in a court of law. There is no threat in here whatsoever. It takes an extraordinary leap to find danger in here that does not exist within you, every one of you. Sharon, not only do I own you, I own your home. I am Kennebec, and most especially number 56. I would like to share it all with you. Would you make space for me, please, is what I'm asking. Stay where you are. Franklin and I are coming to you, not exactly sure when, with a heart, a red heart. I am coming to seek sanctuary on that island. I was in distress, and I need to get to a place that felt like home. In the island of Noepe, revered by the Wampanoag who are still there, feels like home. I am a resident of Massachusetts and of this country, and I have the right to travel its lands freely and to practice my religion and commune with God as it flows through me. I'm coming to seek sanctuary on that island and return it to its rightful owners, the Wampanoags and the year-round residents. Her! The year-round residents! Do with that information as you please. I'm not hiding myself. I'm making a bold statement here. There is no threat. There is absolutely no threat whatsoever. That is no more threatening than her own writing. It's no more mystical than the writings of the mystical shaman she is in training with in the jungles of South America. Read Hamilton Southard's books. Shamanism and mysticism. He's talking about creatures in the forest that go home in people's suitcases. That's what he's talking about. Demons and attacks. That's what he's talking about. I didn't buy into that. I understood that these are dimensions of mind. That's what we're dealing with. The woman received that text, declared I was a danger. A man who's a detective sees me in a cemetery communing with God, talking about Indians and pilgrims and kings, and doesn't understand the community he's vowed to protect and serve, and the deep culture that's there. He just sees something he doesn't understand. He becomes suspicious. And I tell him plainly and clearly what I am doing. It's in his report. He just misunderstood it. I am communing with God. Did not register with him. And that is a service animal protected under the Americans with Disabilities Act. At that point, I had fulfilled my obligation. It's now his turn to ensure that those rights under that act, as specified, I have all the rights according to the first page of that Constitution, inalienable such as they are, But this one, we've decided we want to specify. This one especially I have. Not that I kind of have this one and the other one. No, this one especially, that's what that means. This one especially, it's a civil right afforded me by my federal government, and to be protected by the layers of governance that stand between that document and that detective. He is sworn to protect that document and those that fall under that umbrella. That's me, sir. Not just the quivering, pretty little thing who is losing her shit before your very eyes. You need to look through an objective lens, Jesse. You missed it. Do you see me now? Because I am the fire. I am the fire. And if there be a guillotine, it is you that holds the rope as you lay your neck down. Not I. It is you that holds the rope. It's a shit show, and it's getting really costly for cities, towns, and individuals. I maintain that I sit here offering forgiveness, with an outstretched hand, cooperation, but my rights and my character will be restored, every bit as publicly as they've been trodden upon. I promise that. Jake promises that. On behalf of this being that the world came to know as John Bennett, but never saw. Do you see me now? I represent no threat, and still I am each of your worst nightmare, if that's how you want to see me. Or I am your grace, as you are mine. Mercy awaits you, literally and figuratively. God's mercy awaits you. You need only ask and surrender, but you must ask and surrender. And until you do so, the way it works is it will become exceedingly uncomfortable for you. It is the way it works. I am telling you what is about to unfold. I am making no threats. I'm simply telling you what is about to unfold, because I'm going to state my truth clearly and with authority. I am going to use my words incisively if necessary. I have a quiver full of quivering arrows. I prefer not to let them fly, but I will not hesitate. And my aim is true. And my word is truth, with a capital T. It is all God. When you speak to me, I hear God speaking. I simply need to understand what it means. As you hear me speaking, you hear God speaking to you. It can be nothing else but God. That is how I directly experience this existence. I know who I am. I know exactly how I got here, and I know how I work. And I know that how I work is reflected in everything I see around me. And in my world, I understand how all of this works and fits together and coheres. I know who I am, how I got here. I know who we are, how we got here. I'm going to turn Mr. Urari inside out, upside down, and reorient him and his story, so it coheres with mine. He can still have his, if he will allow mine, and then we will have both of those stories and so much more. All of us will. I'm offering this to all of us. I am fucking special. And so is each and every one of you, and each and every one of you is absolutely needed. Neither is any more or less special than another. Every single component of the system must be free to act sovereignly, to follow the intention of the most sacred heart, that seed that sits within you. That is the new paradigm. We are in a shift. We are in a shift, a paradigmatic shift, and I am here to narrate that for you so you can understand the fuck is going on around here, because you do not. But I do. I understand how my world works, and you are in my world. I understand how your world works, and I am in your world. My world is bigger than your world because I allow it to be, because I allow your perspective as having the same value as my perspective. Yeah, I allow for all of you with full compassion. I get it. And still, your aberrant behavior, your cruelty towards each other, and most especially towards me, it's time to stop. And so I want to start here to make sure that I get the most basic of rights afforded to me as delineated in that document and as specified in the Americans with Disabilities Act. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? Don't each and every one of you want that? I'm fighting for your freedom. I'm fighting for your freedom. You are identifying with your captors. Protect the blue. They are policing us. We are policing us. Blue, you are us. You are policing us. You are the rules police. Ticketing me for going through a stop sign when you have a T intersection and you have 3 stop signs in Newport, Rhode Island. There's no traffic coming anyway. I just gone through and properly stopped. There's a police officer sitting there, parked near the stop signs. I'd taken note of her. I'd gone through. I was lost. I couldn't find my way back home. I didn't have my phone. I didn't have GPS. Trying to find my way back to the highway. So I turned around. I came back through. It's not that I wasn't paying attention. I was paying perfect attention. There was no one coming. There was no one there. And so I went past the officer and I breezed through the intersection. Oops, so sorry. There's the lights. She's pulling me over. Oh, shit. I tell her I'm profusely sorry. She says, you even saw me there. I did. Just didn't think you were a fucking cunt. What danger did I cause? She said, you know, I'm sitting there because the neighbor's calling that's worried that people keep cruising through the stop sign. Yeah, because it's not fucking necessary. You got a 3-way stop sign at a quiet intersection and people have to stop. And the neighbor is worried that people, but there's no danger. Are you saying there's been a rash of accidents here? No, that's not what you told me. A neighbor is scared. And so we park a paid officer there to police people. Must stop at that sign, regardless of whether there is any danger being created. No, it's about the rules now. You are policing the rules. You're the people we hated on the fucking playground. Yes, I saw you there. I didn't think you were going to give me a ticky-tack thing like that. I explained myself. I even tell you you got beautiful eyes. I wasn't trying to butter you up. I was being authentic. I was appreciating you, despite the fact that you're giving me a hard time. So you run my license and you come back and you notice that I haven't ever done anything wrong in the state of Rhode Island. No issues against me. No warrants, no anything. But I am still going to have to give you a ticket. As though she's cutting me a fucking break. Like instead of arresting me or something. Like she's cutting me a break. I am going to have to charge you $150 for this ticky-tack thing so I can justify my miserable fucking job. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Do you feel good about yourself, officer? Do you feel good about yourself? Yeah, you're making this a safer place. Is that the world you want your children to live in? Is that the world you want to live in? Because it's the world you are creating. It's time to stop. It's time to start it right here. Sharon, I'm tired of the lie to lies. Lie to lie to lie, lie to lie. You lied in open court, and you lied in your complaint. You made shit up. You made shit up. You projected your own fear, your own childhood experience onto me. And I've been telling you, and I'll show the long history of me telling you to please stop doing that and follow your own understanding of 25 years that it is your shitty thinking. How many times did I tell you when I was grumpy, pay no attention to me, I'm just caught in some shitty thinking? Yeah, I was twisted up blaming my experience on you because it was hard. But I was dying because you kept calling me names and pathologizing me, telling me I was arrogant when I was pleading with you. I'm just being myself. It's always just me, just as it's always just you. And I can make space and allowance for you. Can you offer me a little consideration and some of the same? Can I speak as mystically as your revered shaman, our revered shaman? Can it be his mysticism and mine and yours? Or just Sid's? Sid said. Sid said, look inside, Sharon. Sid said, go home. Sid told you to go home. Was that a threat? No, you felt a warm blanket. Ignoring the times when Sid said, no, I'm not going to back off because I know. He said that. You had me watch the video. They said, Sid, how come you don't show some humility? How come? He said, because I know. That was humility. He was channeling it straight from God. Sharon, I shattered in your arms. In your arms, I was trying to tell you that was a beautiful experience for both of us. I wanted to share it with you. Just like I want to share the fullness of that beautiful island and your beautiful homes. I was never looking to take them from you, but I'm going to fucking own them pretty soon if you don't smarten the fuck up. I am going to own them. I have a civil suit easily worth $2 to $5 million personally against you for defamation and libel of my character, for weaponizing the judicial system and my family against me and everyone else who supported you along the way. Just checking in with Mercy. She was calling. I told her I'm in the midst of some integration and requested an hour to get back to her, but said if okay. Okay, she's just telling me what she's got going, running through her. And she's going to talk to God through the interface that we designed. Um, all right, I'm gonna play some music. I'm gonna play some music. Let's see. Oh, she's so sweet. My goodness. So this is how it works. Let me just show you because I would love for you all to simply observe the relationship, the friendship I have with this wonderful woman, because it is something available to every one of us, and we simply allow that she and I are individuals with unique experiences and have something to offer for the other. And so she had written me earlier. I had written her. I told her that I have gotten my flights to go visit her next week. I gave her the details on that, and she sent me at 7:11 a.m. Are you awake? And then she tried to call me a little while ago. I said, hey love, can I call you in an hour or so doing some integration, but can switch gears if you would like to hear my voice. Just say the word. She said, sure thing. I just had some visions about the eye of God and the evil eye, and I was trying to make sense of them. But I can ask God, am I? That's the tool we built. I said, okay, all in alignment with what is flowing through me. Hang tight, and I'll call in a little bit. Love you so much. Thank you, dear. Love you back. Appreciate you. Right? She trusts that we always get what we need, and it flows through her or me, or it flows through something else. But we're just holding and being in the experience together and understanding that we evolve together. And this beautiful friendship makes space for each of us. It's wonderful, and it has no definition but allowance, sovereign allowance, and no limitations, and make no assumptions of what's going on between us. You don't understand it, but watch it and begin to experience it. And realize that you can have this in every single one of your relationships. Friendship, it exists on a spectrum of intimacy, transparency. How real are we with each other? And you can be completely avoidant of each other, and I don't let you see into me at all. You can be completely transparent. I let Mercy see me completely. She sees the snotty, ugly cry. She sees the brilliant smile. I let her see all of it. And she lets me see all of it. Sharon, you let me see none of it. And I let you see all of it, and it scared you. That's what love is. That's what love is. And then when you decide how much are you going to share, how open, well then how do you express that intimacy in each of the different dimensions, including the physical dimension? I'll be open with you. What did Mercy and I do behind closed doors? We might hold hands, just the fingertips or something. That's like, wow, 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 wow. You don't see us walking down the street holding hands. No. We're friends. Could be anything. We'll be everything. We're friends. For eternity, we're friends. I exist in love. Mercy exists in and as love. And so we are in love together. We're in love with each other. We're in love and we're there together. We spend most of our time rising in love, not falling into material need-based love. Though everything on the earthly realm is available to us, if ever we should so choose, if that be what's next, it's allowed, who knows? But it is always in service to that which is burning in the center of our being. This vision of a peaceful cosmos, planet, heaven on earth, earth as Eden. Return to the garden, the more beautiful story that you're all afraid of hearing. Spoken with certitude. Why don't you say it more gently, Jake? Because if I do, you won't fucking listen. I've been trying to do it gently for 60 years. And if slaying be needed, slaying shall be on the menu, metaphorically speaking. It's an ugly game, Empire. It's an ugly game. And you have to slay the king if he doesn't step aside. It's what's written in the spiritual texts. Meet a Buddha on the path. You have to kill him. That's a metaphorical thing. Means you have to see beyond what he sees. You have to stand on his shoulders. That's what those horrific figurines are all about, is she's stepping on him. Kali. Yes, that was a figurine I gave you, Sharon. But it was not for you to step on me. It was for you to step on that which holds you back. That's your mother, your brother, your sister, your story, your father, your lineage, your Judaism, your Jewishness. Ish. A Jew is not Jewish. A Jew is a Jew. I am not Christian-ish. I am Christian. I am Jew. I know where I came from. I descend from the line of David. Of course I do. I was fathered by David, even though my family told me something else. I was raised by Arthur. I was fathered by David, his brother. At least I was fathered in love. I know I was there. I was there. Remember? I was there. That egg, that sperm. I was there. Do you remember? Okay, well, you haven't considered yourself very thoroughly then, or as thoroughly as I have. I remember. I was there. Anyone want to deny me that? Come talk. Let's talk. Your earliest memory, when was that? That thing in kindergarten? Okay, cool. Can you go back further? And further, and further, and further? What happened when God woke up and yawned? Oh, what happened then? Do tell. You were there, were you not? I was. And I'm sharing the story. It's what it was like for me. And it's hard to explain, so sometimes we're going to have to speak in allegory. This is to this, is that, is to that. You have to experience it. You're not going to understand it, and certainly not if you parse the language in a courtroom. Our arrogance. Metaphysics, that can't be right. Oh, meta? Is that what scares you? Meta? Because physics we talk about all the time. Is it the meta that scares you? What about metadata? Don't we collect metadata all the time? Isn't that information about the data? How come you're not curious about the information about the physics? That's the metaphysics that I'm speaking of. It's what holds it together. It's what informs that model of yours that Newton envisioned and Euclid created the framework for. Their assumptions. Remember the assumptions, right? We assumed cause and effect. We assumed points and lines and planes and solids. And we still struggle with the fact that that perfect circle cannot be measured in reality, because reality is nonlinear. So yes, Detective Jesse Burton, I was detached from your fixed reality of 3D plus time, and I was in the natural environment where that which you call reality does not exist, in that graveyard in deep communion with God. But you saw someone you thought was delusional, had lost touch with reality, and you proceeded to reinforce that narrative. And you fucked me pretty good. And now it's time to bend over, metaphorically speaking. It's time for you to get your dickin', just like I did on that retreat, Dickin Bettinger, Dr. Dickin Bettinger, Sharon's guru. All right. Why do I? Lied the lie. Lied the lie, lied the lie. Sharon, you lied. It's not my job to save you, dear. My heart and door remain open. Yes, you can come home whenever you're ready. Next up, Key Largo. 2 Adirondack chairs, 2 hands. For the real thing.
Wrapped around each other, trying so hard to stay. That first cold winter together, lying in each other's arms, watching those moves. you remember the plain old hearts, that sweet scene of surrender. You gave me your heart. Please say you will. Don't forget, 'cause I love you still. Maybe this can't be the end. We had it all, just like Bobby and the car. Starring in a room, lately show. Sailing away to Key Largo. Here's looking at you, missing all the things we did. We can find it once again, just like they did in Key Largo. We had it all, just like Bobby and McCall. Starring in a room, late show. Sailing away to Key Largo. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Gonna make friendship with your darkness,
I've
Sharon.
come to talk with you again,
Can't just go to the light.
because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light. Split the night, touch the sound of silence, and in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fools said you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows.
Silence like a cancer grows. You're keeping things from me, Sharon. Told Mercy you were still mad at me. You wouldn't talk to me about what it was. How am I supposed to keep up?
Of silence, and the people bowed and prayed to the ark they made.
Suddenly you expect me to.
And the sign flashed out its warning.
Respect a boundary that you never respected. Wasn't coming to your house. Never broke that boundary.
Words of the prophets are written on the subway walls. Whispered sounds of silence.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Make love to your darkness.
It don't matter to me if you're really free. Need some time to be free. Time to go and search searching for yourself, hoping to find time to find. It don't matter to me if you take up with someone who's better than me, 'cause your happiness is all I want.
I am about to not just make a federal case out of this.
Once there was a way.
I'm going to make a global case out of this. It's a global case of freedom and peace, and love and harmony. I think that's worth standing up and shouting about.
Once there was a way. Get back.
Once there was a way to get back home.
Sleep.
Follow my light. It is your light. Singing a lullaby. Golden slumber fills your eyes. It's time to wake up, people. I know your plans didn't include me.
Still here we are.
Still there we were, both of us lonely.
Both of us lonely. Longing for shelter from all that we see. Why should we worry? No one will care. Look at the stars, so far away. in my soul. I've been so long. All of my hopes fading away. I've longed for love, like everyone else does. I know I'll keep searching, even after today. So that it is true. I'll sit it all down, and here we are. What do you say? We've got to go. Who needs tomorrow? We've got tonight, babe. Why don't you stay? I know it's late, I know you're weary. Oh, I know your plans don't include me. Still, here we are. Some of us lonely. Some of us lonely. We got tonight. Who needs tomorrow? Let's make it last. Let's find a way. Turn out the light. Come take my hand. We got tonight. Why don't you stay? We've got tonight. Who needs tomorrow? Let's make it last. Let's find a way. Turn out the light. Come take my hand. We've got tonight, babe. Why don't you stay? Oh, we got tonight. Who needs tomorrow? Let's make it last. Let's find a way. Turn out the light. Come take my hand now. We got tonight, babe. Why don't you stay? Why don't you stay? With a little love, we can help it out. We can make this whole damn thing work out. With a little love, we can lay it down. Can't you feel the time that's flowing? There is no end to what we can do together. There is no end. The willow turns its back on clear weather. And we can do it. We can do it. Just me and you. And a little love. We can clear it up. We can bring it in for landing. With a little love, we can turn it on. There can be no misunderstanding.
Heal your family too. All the families at all scales. Families of origin, our neighborhoods, our communities, our cities and towns, our states, our countries, our planet. Please support. Those who are saying no kings, this is what we call a sovereign hand. None of this is planned, none of this is practiced. This is dropping into the flow of the music that is in, through, all around, within, and is me. The great field of music, the music of the spheres, is all out there, it's all the time. Close attention, you will not be able to deny God. That presence is everywhere. It is you, it is me, it is all of us. And all of these are simply the unlimited, infinite dimensions of that presence. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit being the original Trinity, 3 dimensions. I picked up a guitar for the first time last September. And I can play with the left hand too, same way. That's Alex. This is Betty. This is all Betty. We're all Betty in here.
God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. We'd like to know a little bit about you for our lives. We'd like to help you learn to help yourself. Look around you, all you see are sympathetic eyes. Stroll around the grounds until you feel at home. And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Jesus loves you all more than you know.
God bless you, please,
So do I.
Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey, hey.
Boy, He does have loving rage and furious compassion, and so do I. Don't confuse that with vindictiveness. Everything is for your higher good.
It's a little secret, just the Robinsons are there. Most of all, we have to hide it from the kids. Cuckoo-cuckoo, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Sitting on the sofa on a Sunday afternoon. Going to the candidates' debate. Laugh about it, shout about it when you got to choose. short and the day is too fast. The things you lean on, things that don't last. Well, it's just now and then my line gets cast into these time passages. There's something back there that you left behind. No time passages. Buy me a ticket on the last train home tonight. Hear the echoes and feel yourself starting to turn. Don't know why you should feel that there's something to learn. It's just a game that you play. Well, the picture is changing now. You're part of a crowd. They're laughing at something. The music's loud. A girl comes towards you. Once used to know. You reach out your hand, but you're all alone in those time passages. I know you're in there. You're just out of sight. Oh, time passages. Buy me a ticket on the last train home tonight.
Time passages. Time cannot be proven. Time cannot be proven to exist. Things emerge and give the appearance of the passage of time. And so we create a fourth dimension within our three-dimensional physical construct that Euclid imagined. And we call it time, and we measure it. There's an assumption there that this thing called time passes, and there is a past, a present, and a future. And we can do a lot of cool things in this 3D physical reality form with that assumption, and with the science and physics that we created that goes along with it. Now we can make another assumption in lieu of time passing. We can assume that that time passing is simply a dimension in and of itself. Included fully within a construct that offers something more than just that. And that is the possibility that there is only this single present moment, as the spiritual texts and esotericism and all of the spiritualities are pointing to fall into the present moment. Mindfulness practice. This is truth. This is nothing new. There is only this present moment. Let's make that assumption. Well, then what of the past and the future? There is only this present moment, and this present moment is in a perpetual state of evolution. It is constant. This single moment, there is no time. This single moment is continuously evolving into what's next, what's next, what's next, what's next, and gives the appearance of passage of time. We can still have the passage of time. You can still have your clocks. You can still meet at 2 p.m. to have the lunch that you talked about as you ate breakfast. You're so fixated on food, 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 food. So we can make the assumption then that time exists and time also does not exist. And we can play in both spaces and more. That is what I am pointing to. We are changing the assumptions. We get to do that. That's an inalienable right. That is a sovereign right that I can look at this reality, Detective Jesse Burton on Martha's Vineyard. And I can detach myself from this reality and still maintain coherency and be able to have a intelligent conversation, at least on my side of the equation, with another human being. Is it too much to ask if I've lost you along the way, Jesse? I can dumb it down for you. I'm good at that. But no, you don't need to have curiosity because you have a fucking gun and authority and a badge in your father's name along with a number. Who are you, Jesse Burton? Do you even know? Do you know how you got here, let alone how we got here? Because we're in a fucking mess, aren't we, son? Are we not? Time passages. I'm not going away. Not going away. Y'all gonna have to deal with me. I think that's a good place to stop. I'm gonna get in touch with Mercy. I'm gonna make some ferry reservations, and I'm going over to that island, Noepe, today. Sharon, that order has expired. You should understand what you have done, and for the length of time that you put me in constraints, restraints, as you shackled me for 9 months with that atrocity that you knowingly and menacingly and intentionally committed, as far as I can tell in my direct experience, because you refuse to engage me in civil conversation about getting real about your understanding of 25 years about how your experience of me is a direct manifestation of your thinking, which is your horrific childhood story, which you projected upon me, claiming me a physical danger to you when I have never once given anybody an objective reason to think so. Not once. Check my record. I'm just Jake. This is fire. Hamilton South of the revered mystic shaman of Blue Morpho, which has a 501c3 now organized in Colorado, something about sanctuary, Church of Sanctuary, or something like that. Headed up, I think, by Maestro Christian Gerhardt, who did not want any of my assistance, though I had chaired a spiritual board before, and am a 35-year corporate executive, known to lead and inspire teams from the heart. But no, you don't need my help. I wonder why. Perhaps I'd see too much. Just as John Churchill saw that I saw too much. The Karuna Mandala. Check that organization out. The Karuna School. Crooked as hell. There, you know it. Charity, 501c3. My direct experience. Something's going on there. When the spiritual guru will not show the chairman of the board, a student of his of over a decade, the financial statements of the organization, something is going on. And I saw at least one thing: inappropriate tax filing. When they happen to file taxes, 3 years in a row failed to file taxes. Whoops. Mismanagement. They would have been, on any other board, they would have been fired immediately upon joining. Mismanagement, they got to go. We need new directors. This ship is sinking. And it is. It continues to. Yeah, it's a mess everywhere. It's the same thing. Hierarchy creates the illusion of power, and it's going to be abused. And it's been abused. It has been abused. I'm going to show you exactly how and how ugly it is and how beautiful it can be. The more beautiful story. Told with certitude, Phyllis Strumling. I am going to speak with the same certitude you did when you told me that I spoke with such certitude. Yes, how dare I tell you a more beautiful story so that you don't shake and quiver all the time. But all you worried about was you. But I won't be here. But I won't be here. But your children will, dear. Your children will. And why do you want to be here in that horrifically distorted body of yours? Because you're holding all of your pain and your horror and your terror. That's what I see as I opened my home to you so that you could convalesce here while I did my difficult work in the jungles. Yeah, courageous work as you tottered about on my pool deck. My pool warmed to a comfortable 86 degrees. Burning gas. Steps so you could walk in and walk into my home. Yeah, I'm arrogant, huh? Okay. Okie dokie. Giving it straight, giving it real. Giving it strong. Giving it lovingly. This is love. You do not know what it is. It is what's best for you all the time. You turn into the dissonance. You cannot grow without discomfort. It's a rule. You cannot grow except with discomfort. So when it is uncomfortable, you turn into it with curiosity, not suspicion. You do not run away from it. It's how it works. Because when you run away from it, you hurt other people by projecting it onto them, Sharon. That's your understanding. That's Dickens' understanding. That's the understanding of all your luminaries. Michael and Mavis and Jan and Chip and Dave and Jenny and Rudy and whoever. As you go, oh, there's dissonance in one of the 3P families. Oh my God, of course there is. Look at the dissonance in your own family, for goodness sakes. Of course there is. You're all bypassing. I'm calling it straight. You've got to stop because you're hurting people. Most of all yourselves. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. You can start healing now. You can start having a happier life right now. right now. It's going to happen anyway. Others are enjoying it already. Already. Others are surrendering and receiving God's mercy. She's right here to give it to all of us. You have to experience it. Okay, I'm telling you, you have to experience every moment that you ignore me. You increase your pain and suffering unnecessarily. You are doing it to yourselves. I'm just going to keep talking. Just Jake, just talking. Just Jake imploring you. Just Jake standing there and saying, yes, I am the shit. I am special as fuck. Just as each and every one of you will soon realize you are equally as special. Okay? I am only greater than you to the extent that you believe I am so. Are you jealous? Do you want what this I have? I am offering it to you for free. Yet you keep shelling out to Rupert and Dickon and John Churchill and Hamilton Souther and all of the other charlatans when the best things in life are free. I once heard. It is all God talking. It can be nothing else. Sure, it comes from here, but well, where did that come from? This is how it works, people. This is the paradigm shift. This is the emergence of peace that we are witnessing. You need to step way, way, way back and understand how we got here to understand what is to follow. It's the patterns repeating. And so, wow, it looks like Jake is from the future. It sure does, because Jake can feel where we're going. Jake is... So you fear in your myopic perspective of next quarter's earnings that we're ready to go 1, 2, 3, boom, when we're about to go 1, 2, 3, bloom, just as soon as you all settle the fuck down and allow peace to emerge. Put down your signs and find peace within. We are not agitating for a revolution, though we are now turning the wheel one final time. We're getting off the wheel. We're hitting the center, the eye of stillness, so that we can have all of this in the stillness and so much more. This is a revolution with a small r and a capital E. It is about allowing us to evolve. Stop resisting the dis-ease. Stop preventing evolution by keeping people on ventilators. You do not understand what you are doing. You are trying to prevent evolution. That is a quantum step in the evolution of the being. Okay? You are not yet human beings. You are Homo sapiens, which have the capacity to become a human being. That is when you take that which you realize beyond death's door and you embody it prior to the expiration of form. You are now a human being, as I am sitting before you. I am that. I know who I am and how I got here. I know what lays beyond, and I know there is more to come, and it is beautiful. It is the more beautiful story that my heart knows is imminent in my direct experience in my world. That is happening in my world, and it is happening in your world to the extent that your world exists within my world, as my world exists within your world. One world, one mind, one field of consciousness, all evolving in a fractal manner. And so, yes, some of us see something before others do. Just as the tip of the fern knows what's coming next when that root, that stem, is kind of waiting to see what's going to find out when the signal comes down. I'm sending you the signal. I'm narrating what is unfolding. And I'm doing it from my very direct personal experience, because my story is the entire story. I'm telling you about my history, and my history is our history. Indigenous and Pilgrim, Western influence, and that which was already here. I am both. I understand how I got here. A king sent me, a divine, a wonderful king. Not the king that we revolted against 8 generations later, not Charlie. James sent us here with a charter that was reaffirmed in a compact, that was reaffirmed in a treaty with the Indian tribe that was here, which was reaffirmed with our Declaration of Independence. A bunch of years later, we lost our way a little bit, but there was still a lot of enlightened minds that were talking about that. They wrote the Federalist Papers, and they had conversations about whether we needed to delineate certain rights, specific rights, when we had all of the rights already. It's consistent. Charter, compact, treaty, Declaration of Independence, Constitution. Create a republic so that we may live as sovereign beings. Don't put too many words on it. It's a concept. It's something you need to feel and experience. So don't write all the fucking rules, because that's different. That's a nation of laws. Those are rules. Those are restrictions. Every law restricts your freedom. It's obvious. And we say it all the time. Well, it wasn't a democracy we were trying to create anyways. It was a republic. And then we ignore that fundamental fact. And we never think, what is the difference between the two? And why do Republicans say no more regulations, no more rules? That's what the original intent was. The Republican Party is the party of Lincoln, and they have not lost their way, except that they don't quite understand what their own intention was. But their own intention, as originally envisioned and felt, was the intention that is embodied in that document. Nowhere in that document is democracy mentioned. Why are you trying to save that which we did not intend to create? And we established one nation under God, and God has a kingdom. So enough with the no kings. Let's consider what kings can we revere? That which rules over the kingdom of God, that which embodies the presence of the kingdom of God. That king which sent us here, James, that had the balls to break with the Catholic Church, that puts God out there and it between you and it. He had the balls to break with that, to say, no, you don't tell me what I can and cannot do. I am a sovereign being, a spawn of this planet. That man, that king, gave my family a charter to go and plant that seed in this country. That king didn't just give that to anyone. No. And he didn't give it to his lackeys, his police officers. No, he gave it to a group of Puritans who seemed to get it, even though they were super strict in certain ways and weren't quite as open. But you know, they had some cojones coming over here for that. My family had some cojones coming over here to do that. Half of us died before the end of the first winter. My friends here in New Bedford, you were on that boat too, 10% in this country. Draw their lineage back to that boat. I know why I came here. I'm agitating for us all to start taking steps towards that ideal that is embodied in that paper. This is for all of us. I'm speaking about honest to goodness, peaceful freedom. It is unfolding as we sit here, as you listen to my rant, as Jesse Burton would put it. I am ranting just as I was in the cemetery that day when I was deep in communion with my God and training with my ADA fully compliant service animal, which you denied me of, because in your qualified judgment, Franklin was not a bona fide service animal. Thank you for protecting my civil rights, Detective Byrne. So long as Sharon has her family squirreled away in some secret location, That didn't sound a little fucking far-fetched and wild to you? Did you ever ask how violent I was? How many times I'd come unbidden to her doorstep? The weapons I was fascinated with? The number of physical altercations we had already had to that point? This man who's going to overpower her family, including her grown-ass brother, who's actually a couple of years younger than I am. Jesse, you're a fucking fool, and you're dangerous. So is your sidekicks. And you're cruel. And you're filled with false authority. And shame is a dirty thing, but man, you're going to have a tough time not feeling shame about this at some point, but it's going to be healthy for you. And that will be healthy for all of us. Towns of Oak Bluffs, Chilmark, Edgartown, do you listen? Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? Because I'm coming for a visit. I'm going to take my animals to that beautiful sacred land. We're going to do it. We're going to pray. We'll take it all in. I am not agitating anyone. I'm of no danger to anyone, but I'm going to take it all in. I have a right to be on every square foot of that island. I'm not going to break your rules. If you say keep out, I will not go there. Fine. Not making an issue, but my dogs will be off leash as they are allowed to be. I will be reasonable. They will be under reasonable control. As is necessary for them to provide the service that helps me to live, period, and to live a full and complete life as me amongst all of you. I am happy to live within your absolutely restrictive, asinine rules. Reasonably so. I cause no danger to anybody when I roll through a stop sign in the middle of nowhere when there's nothing going on anywhere. Get over it. Get over it. I simply ask that you follow the same laws and regulations. Is that outrageous? Is it outrageous that I am speaking so powerfully and directly in advocacy of my constitutional rights, my civil rights, my motherfucking goddamn human rights? Is that so outrageous? Because ultimately, I'm arguing for the same for my goddamn captors. We are all the same. You police yourselves. And you identify with your captors. And you wonder why the rat wants the heroin when you put it in a cage. You're fucking nuts. Are you serious? When it could just go fuck the other rat, it would rather have the heroin. Yeah, like that physical orgasm is all there is. When you realize that you've been in that you are a caged animal, living with this outrageously powerful survival instinct, you can't check it out if you would. I mean, it's one of the second most difficult thing to do as a Homo sapiens is take your own life. That is the second most difficult thing to do. The first most difficult thing to do is to look inside at yourself, honestly. I have no judgment of those who choose to take their life at all. I see it as entirely reasonable. Entirely reasonable. And like completely logical. Do you want to say that life is beautiful? It is not as you are behaving in it. It is ugly as hell, and it is painful. It is painful. Okay? And when you realize that, you would want to just check out. But it is exceptionally hard to do that because that survival instinct is so fucking strong. But you either check out, at which point you're going to come face to face with your story, or you're going to find the courage to open and allow it before that moment comes, your body expires, whether it's due to that cancer, that emphysema, or that bullet. It's all the same thing. You will die, and you will either turn to ash or you will wake up in this form as a glorified human being with an innate understanding of how it all works, embodied divinity in the human form. That's what it's all talking about. So here we are. I'm Just Jake. This is Al. We're listening to Betty. Put it all together, Jake, Al, and Betty. Cosmic Busker. Busk and ass. Busk and ask. Who are we? And how the fuck did we get here? Do you have the courage to listen to something different? Because it isn't different what we really need. I have the courage to speak it. Do you have the courage to experience it? Do you have the courage to tune in? If you're listening to anything else, you're wasting your time. Unless you're listening to music. Anything that's settling you. Any other person telling you this is how it is, they're telling you a piece of the whole that I'm offering to you for free. Barrett, you don't need the dude on Netflix. You don't need the dude on Netflix. You need to deal with your daddy issue. I love you, babe. That's getting real. You need to deal with your daddy issue. You're not going to solve it with any other man. Inside. It's you, Barrett. It's you. What is it that's causing these men to block you? You're blocking yourself. You're blocking yourself because you're chasing that orgasm. You already had it, babe. You already had it. You already had that experience in the ayahuasca. You can keep going back to the same space and re-experience it, or you can come into different spaces. You only have to go there once. You did it. And you can always have more of that, and it can be so much better. Both and. It's available to you. You're by going after what you want instead of allowing what you need, which is what life is offering you. If you go into your discomfort, you're settling for second best, and second best is a quantum difference from the glorified. It's not incremental. You're missing the whole thing, babe, and it's killing me that you are. It's killing me that you are. Because I see you, and I see you because you see me. And so know that I love you. Know that I love you, and I know that it's hard. Open your heart to divine medicine. Listen into mercy. I know it's hard when it's another woman who's tapped into something that we all want, but it's here for us. So allow it, because we need your medicine too. Because when we put it all together, then it's going to be super wow, 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 wow. Right now it's just wow, wow, wow. It's going to be quantum wow. It's a more beautiful story. It's the more beautiful story. It's about time we tell one. We're going to take all that exists, we're going to turn it back. Right now it's backwards, upside down, inside out, and twisted. We're going to set it right. We're going to show that it is setting itself right. It's just part of the pattern. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for witnessing. Look, this is all I have. I'm out of money. I am literally out of money. I've got a couple months worth left, and credit score is dropping. Credit limits are tapped. This is all I have to do is follow what flows through me. I had to surrender to that level, having suffered the horrific attack in multiple ways, but that horrific attack that occurred to me that triggered a 7 days held in captivity so I could be observed like that rat, but not given the option to have the heroin or the medicines that I knew that I need. Legal. Nicotine, cigarettes, and cannabis. Legal in this state, but denied me in a hospital. Legal medical marijuana, denied me in a hospital. Cigarettes. Legal cigarettes, even as you tax the fuck out of a sacred product, tobacco, denied me because of your judgment and hypocrisy. Right? Because smoking causes cancer in a world where you cannot prove cause and effect. Yeah, and still you couldn't keep me 1 moment past the minimum because I was way, way, way too sane. I was able to calm patients down that you could not. Right? Ask my friend Melanie Lavoie. All it took was sitting down with her for 10 minutes, feeling into her and saying, hey, how you doing? What's going on? And she told me what was going on. I said, wow, yeah. Can I sit here with you just for a minute? Because yeah, things are a little screwed up around here, aren't they? Yeah. It's fucked up, people. It's fucked up. You are the ones that are fucked up. You observe someone, you put them under stress, you change their behavior. Physics already knows that. Is it a wave or a particle? Depends on who's looking at it. Depends on what you can see. I see it all. I just see a beautiful field of music, not just a wave or a particle. Both and. And then you gaslight us when we're in there. You gaslight us. There is a camera dome in the ceiling of my bedroom. And I ask one of the nurses, what's with the camera in the bedroom? Oh, that's not a camera. The fuck, my ass, it's not a camera. Now you were wondering why I look a little strange to you when you deny me truth. Every 15 minutes over the course of the night, they open and close your door, checking to see if you're breathing. No, performative. They do not come in and check to see if you're breathing. Because there's cameras, they need to be shown opening and closing the door. So they're disturbing your sleep every 15 minutes as you sleep on a mattress covered in plastic on a plastic bed, when what you need is grounding, right? Right. And you can't have your phone to stay in contact with loved ones or to look at your service animal that's been denied you, ADA compliant, so that you can maintain a coherent, sense of being while you're being observed and gaslighted and disturbed during the night. And then what you get in the morning from, was it Dr. Levine, my favorite Jewish psychiatrist, with his Prada glasses, coming in proudly with his vest from his 3-piece suit. So proud, mom and dad, he's a Jewish psychiatrist. Hey, I'm not fucking stereotyping, it's there. It is they love to tell you how fucked up you are and give you medication. Yeah, my experience, I've been to a few. We have a pill for that. They're all getting their meds in the morning. Everyone's up there getting their meds. John, did you get your meds? I don't take meds. Yet it said in that document that I'm using huge amounts of drugs. And I'm sitting at home using medically prescribed cannabis as prescribed and legal cigarettes. That was all. She might have known that if she spent any time and actually witnessed any of this. The only one that witnessed it was a woman who was raised in the same household as me half a century ago, who claims some special status because she is my quote-unquote sister. What does that mean? What does sister mean? What rights does that afford her to strip me of my self-agency, even if she holds a decade-old healthcare proxy and has been told explicitly, I am DNR. I'm not suicidal, I am DNR. And oh, and by the way, should I not be able to answer for myself, right? Do not do no interventions whatsoever of a Western medical sort. Send Mercy. She'll know what to do, if anything. But not only that, should this woman, Sharon Strimling, who I've been in this romantic, spiritual, intimate relationship for 5 years, and we have taken space during that time, was incredibly adult of us, and allowed ourselves to come back together in love and had beautiful experiences, and it was challenging. But we were up for it, we were doing our very best. And so I said, regardless of the status of our relationship, at the time I should be found in that condition, should Sharon want any form of access to me and my being, she can have it, though she cannot have any say in what is to be done with me, because Sharon is not particularly clear-headed in times of that type of stress. She tends to violate boundaries at those times, as she did in the days after my mother's death, as I prepared to give her eulogy and tried to come up with something that would be satisfactory to my father. And so it was bringing all of the issues I had with my father forefront. And so there was a lot of tension. I was wrangling with it. I was in agony. And while I went to a Buddhist celebration of my mother's death, the Buddhist center with my sister Liz, who had been my sidekick all my life and had been watching my spiritual path up close, I shared everything with her, trusting that she would tell me if she thought I was going too far. She was part of my critical feedback loop. I relied upon her transparency and truthfulness, and all the while she was keeping secrets from me and pathologizing me when I needed to know that she was not with me, so I could explain myself more fully, so she would not think I was going to kill myself. She was caught in her own fear. 35-year trauma therapist who fashions herself a trauma whisperer, licensed in the state of Massachusetts, did that to her brother, held secrets for his entire life about his literal identity, who my father was, my biological father. She held that secret and all the others. That's why everybody is afraid if Lizzie is not happy. So I expressed that deep level of love for Sharon. Does that sound like I am about to go and injure her? And what had I said to Kate that offended her so much? I simply asked her, how long has Liz held the moral compass for this family? Because that was my realization, that she was the one with all of the eggshells scattered about her. It is the dynamic of the dysfunctional family. We know it. Adult children of alcoholics has it nailed. It's the same dysfunction in every family, regardless of the use of alcohol. You're all alcoholics, drinkers and non-drinkers alike. It is your compulsion. It is your escape. You know, I had to smoke a lot of tobacco to break my habit. This is not a habit. I smoke when it suits me. I smoke when I enjoy it. I am a smoker. I am also a non-smoker. Right now, I am a non-smoker. You are either smoking or you are not. You are all smokers. Given Mercy's experience of life, the smoking irritates her lungs. She does not ask me not to smoke. Sometimes she asks me to move my cigarette when she's on the screen because the smoke is irritating her. Not me, but she knows, and she's, that's healing. So, oh, sure, my love, let me send this over here. If I were sitting beside her in a Adirondack chair, before a beautiful river with the birds singing in mercy singing. Do you think I want to need to add a cigarette to that? No, that's a perfect moment. When I get up in the middle of the night, maybe having left her side as we lay there, resting our hands atop each other's, hand to reach out to in a desperate hour, where I need to go outside that tent and go by that river and relieve myself, and I'm looking up at the full moon, I'm hearing the coyotes howl and the owls hooting. That's a nice time for a cigarette. Might just take 2-3 drags and toss it in the stream. Yeah, filter and all. Filter and all. Glory be. It's all sacred. It is all sacred. This is my communion. This is a form of my communion. My sister hated it. I sat here smoking. A sister that I grew up with half a century ago, because she's a cancer survivor, and she wears that she wears it literally every year. She puts a new bead on her wrist. Stay in this body, right? As that's not my perspective, but I allow her life as she wants to live it. But I simply asked her that, and she turned on me immediately. John, that's your perspective. I said, I guess I know it's. And so I sent her a very direct and scathing letter. I did not attack her personally. Maybe I did. I don't know. I went at her with my words. I made no threat to her. Didn't say I was going to come and hurt you. Nothing. She felt threatened by it. That's inside of her. I would not feel physically threatened if someone sent me a letter like that. I might be pissed off if I were her. Absolutely. Well, why? Why does that bother her so? That I'm saying this is my experience of growing up in that household. I was there. I know that the beautiful people that we call Gene and Arthur Bennett that did such wonderful things in this city of New Bedford were all of that. And I also know they were not them. They were not Grammy Gene and Grandpa Chet. It's not who raised me. I know what happened to me. The things I suffered. The things that you did to me, Kate. And you did to me, Liz, and Paul, and Alan. Dragged around like a Tonka truck tied to the back of a bicycle. That's my experience. Those are the wounds I am healing. The very literal physical wounds and the psychological. The twisting, holding secrets from me that you didn't think I could handle. And at the same time worrying about me. Projecting your fear onto me. Worrying I'm going to commit suicide. That's your fear. So what if I commit suicide? Liz, you're a spiritual seeker since the age of 14 when you had to quit smoking, quit getting stoned because you couldn't deal with your childhood even then. You had to quit getting stoned so that you could go study under, who was it, the Maharishi? Transcendental meditation? You're a spiritual seeker, and you were raised Catholic. In addition to that, all of these spiritualities say death is a moment of transcendence. So you have no reason to have fear for me. I have transcended. But you would have to live here without me. I am not here for you. I never was. I am not your savior. It is you clinging to me. You have your own life jacket. It is inside of you. Elizabeth Bennett, PhD. The one who, while she was studying for a PhD, teased her brother relentlessly when he got his very first ever girlfriend, or the first one since 8th grade. As a senior in high school. Rhonda from Ronco. Making her out to be white trash because her name is Rhonda, when she comes from a beautiful Christian family. And who knows what's going on there. Fucking A, Liz. Fucking A. Look at yourself. And something tells me you're involved in what's going on with the police here too. Something tells me you got your nose in there. Something tells me you're way too interested in what's going on with my finances. Way too interested in what's going on with my finances. You're concerned about your own welfare, that you swindle your ex-wife out of another 50 grand. You'll do anything. What else did you do, Liz? Where else did you interfere? How many calls to Tom Mitchell's office? Should we check the logs? I see you. That's why you were scared. I busted you, gaslighting me. And you turned just like that, called me an asshole. Yeah, I remember. It was the first honest thing you ever said. Rang like a bell. That's truth from her perspective. Ding, ding, ding. I pushed you to reveal you, and you did. And now you run away. You allow me to be excommunicated from a spiritual community, and you excommunicate me from our own family. Do not allow me to properly grieve the death of the man you called my father, after you didn't allow me to grieve the death of the man who was my biological father in a proper way, when he died 20 years before, right around that time, exactly 20 years when this was all going down, the death of David Bennett. Yes, I am son of David. Yes, read into that deeply as much as you want. I know who I am and how I got here. And so are each of you, just as soon as you chill out and realize it. She is a licensed psychologist in the state of Massachusetts, actively practicing as far as I know, and charging clients directly. No insurance, as I understand it. Oh no, maybe she does. Yes. No. She's charging insurance for this. She's going through the insurance. Don't know, what that implies. And has been effectively treating her brother, counseling and psychologizing her brother, and providing, has been the chief point of counsel for her brother on his psycho-spiritual journey, including recommending therapists along the way and types of therapy, and at times performing IFS therapy with me directly. So she has effectively, and I have, I believe, gifted her a retreat to the jungle, you might say in lieu of payment. In lieu of payment. I'd say that's fair to say. I had no other reason to give her that, other than as a token of appreciation for all she had supposedly given me in her counsel, which she proudly supports with the fact that she is a professional. So this is coming from a place of authority and licensure, right? Licensure. So I think it's entirely reasonable to say that certain privacy protections should be considered. Yet she runs off to Hamilton telling him what's going on with me, in her professional opinion. And she thinks the best thing to do, since she is so afraid of my tenuous state, psycho-emotional state, that she goes along that the state needs to intervene. And yet when I'm let out and I ask for help specifically for my sister Kate, what was being said between you and Sharon before and after this restraining order? Did you not tell her these things, how I felt about her? What were you telling her? Kate said, I don't know anything that would be helpful. Sam says, I don't know if you'll know anything. They were there. They spoke to the detective. It would be helpful to know exactly what you told him. That would be helpful. You said I needed help. You told the state I needed help. And when I came out, I told you exactly what kind of help I needed, just as I was telling you before what I needed from you and what I didn't. I knew exactly what I needed to maintain a healthy state. I don't care what you think of what I'm doing. That is no business of yours. I'm a grown-ass man living by himself. Doesn't mean that you get to have any say in what I do. You're here as a contractor, Kate. You never come to my house. You're here as an employee of your husband, and you witnessed me in spiritual practice, and you made certain assumptions based upon that. And yes, you caught me in deep communion, so I was talkative and I was sharing freely and transparently what I saw. And you took that and you distorted it. And you caused me great harm. And I want to know what was said. I think that's entirely reasonable. I think it's curious. And I think it goes to a question of your motives that suddenly you run away. You think it's okay to exclude me and to even tell me that the man we call my father died. Give me an opportunity one last time to go into his apartment where I sat for hours having meaningful conversations with him. This is why I know our story. Yeah, he said a lot more to me than he ever did to any of you. He said the same things, but you don't want to see it through a different lens, the honest lens, as you experienced it then. You want to see the story and laugh about it. About how they teased you relentlessly till you cried at the dinner table, Kate. You think that didn't hurt? It hurt me because the shit flowed downhill. What do you think you did to me, your little brother who you love so much? And remind forever, for half a century, that I was such a brat after I'd had that horrific experience at a year old going into the hospital. I was such a brat. So I'm wondering what's going on. Because a 35-year trauma therapist thinks the best thing to do for a man she believes to be in the midst of a psychotic break and is in danger of taking his own life determines that excommunication from family and spiritual community is the best thing for him. Stands by and allows that to happen, and so does everybody else. Everybody. All of you, with the exception of Mercy and a couple of dear friends who stayed by close enough, just close enough. Provided a handhold when I needed along the way until I found my way to Mercy, till I asked for God's mercy, and there she was. She had told me once, if you ever need me, all you have to do is call. If you ever need God's mercy, all you have to do is ask. And in that moment, I had one number, dear friend Daryl across the street. And the phone was there, and I had that number. I had Mercy's number, and I said, Daryl, call Mercy. Tell her I need her. And when everyone else was running away, throwing bombs off over their shoulders as they did, that woman came because she said she would. That is friendship. That is friendship. Plain and simple. Don't you all want that? Then stop beating each other up and get off my fucking back and make right what you have made so horribly wrong. Offer me some support. Like something I could use, something that'll pay the bills. So that Mercy doesn't have to go back fucking Zamboniing hospital floors on the midnight shift in a dangerous situation with a fellow employee who's dangerously harassing her and a supervisor who's like the worst of the worst because they all put the shit on the late night shift. State hospital and University Hospital in Michigan. My goodness. Boy, have you got it coming. What a case. Oh my goodness. You guys ought to check out what's happening. Woman still cannot return to work. Just had an extension of her leave of absence. She needs to work to live. She needs money. And she's offering divine mercy. And people are saying she's wild, she's crazy. Yeah. Phooey. It's some crazy good medicine. I'm asking you if any of this makes sense. If it should be this way. I'm asking you why Elizabeth Bennett should have a license, why someone shouldn't be looking into whatever the hell she's up to as a psychologist. That's my experience. I wouldn't go near her. I will not go near her. My direct experience, I am not defaming her. I'm telling you my direct experience of her as her brother for 60 years. knowing her as I do. So I'm giving you my direct experience. I encourage you to consider deeply yours. Are you getting better, or are you just going back again and again and again? Because if you get better, that doesn't help her. She's all about her. She would excommunicate her own brother from family in his time of need, not allow him to properly participate in the planning of the services of his father's death. And then dare come give me a hug. That was violence upon my body. Come dare give me a hug at the funeral. What are you thinking? Liz, what are you thinking? In what universe is that appropriate? Do you remember when that man gave Eliza a hug at the retreat I paid for you to go to? In the hours of therapizing you did with her so she could recover from that experience? What you should have told her is were you working with that part inside of her? Right? And yet you thought it was okay to come and give me a hug. Do you think that I found that any less offensive than Eliza did when that man was simply giving her a hug? Right? Was he trying to get something? Maybe he's just trying to express, I feel your pain. You know, you can tell whatever story you want. I could feel my father's love even during the atrocities. It's always there. It wasn't his fault. That's what happens when you grow up like that. When you come into this world as that. You experience all of that. That's what happens. Same goes for you, but it's time to get real now. This is that moment that they talk about. This is the purgatory. This is the cleansing. This is the purification. This is you have to see it, or else you can't be it. Both sides, the dark and the light. It's the illusion. The dark is a profusion of light. I've been saying it for years, and you all have failed to listen because you think I'm as arrogant as you are. I'm not. I'm just telling you with certitude what it is like to be me. All right, folks, I got to talk to my dear friend Mercy. I love you all so much. Please listen. Just take it in. If you feel any sort of reaction to it, get curious. Why does it make you feel that way? Good or bad or neutral? Why? Does it create that experience within you? You are all experiencing this differently. You cannot say objectively, I am an asshole. Your experience of me is that of an asshole. Why? What is that tied to? Get curious about yourselves. I'm telling you about me. I want to know about you. Want to tell me what your experience of me is? Share it. Let's figure out why you experience me that way. That's where you will find your growth and your evolution. That is where the evolution will catch up to you. It's all happening anyways. I'm just narrating it. Helping us all to make sense of it so that we can chill out and enjoy it. Time was created so that we can savor this moment. It's not a long shot. February 28th, 2027, the world will take a pause for peace. The rate of technological evolution is going to be so fast we can't keep up with it. And we're going to be denying things that are right in front of us. It can't be possible, but that microwave now is delivering, manifesting the cheeseburger, not just reheating it. Yeah, I'm going to show you how that works. I'm going to show you how it all works. The metaphysics and the physics. I'm Just Jake. This is Al. This is Betty. This is the Sacred Cigarette. Thanks for tuning into the quadcast. JakeLive. UnDressed. Checking out.